This is Ndtv. And you're watching Ndtv Hindu.
Hello and welcome to Off the Record. My guest today is somebody who's always on the move, but guess what? His employees hardly move out of his company, Ajuba. I'm joined by Devendra Saharia, President of Ajuba. Dev, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sanjay.
That's incredible because in an industry like yours, BPO is known for high attrition rates, and yet you've managed to keep them all together as one happy family, almost a bunch of happy campers. You're like not a president in the conventional sense, but not a boss, but a role model, and which is why you've probably won all these awards. What explains the kind of rapport that you share with those who work for you?
I think first and foremost, thank you for the kind and generous words. I think it is the culture that we have in the organization right from day one that has enabled us to retain so many of our key employees, and it is because I think everyone shares common values, and it's more a family-like environment where everyone understands and knows each other well, and there's complete trust and transparency.
How many awards you won? I mean, this is I think the fourth time in a row, and this is what, among the 9 best great places to work in India.
Yes, this award we were ranked in the top 10. We were the 9th best employer, and in our category of IT-enabled services, we were actually ranked number 1. We've been recognized, in the past several times as well as an employer of choice across the country. And in addition to that, we won several awards also in specific areas in terms of gender exclusivity, health initiatives, and other employee-related.
So you've actually challenged stereotypes, and you've broken out of that mold that the mindset that in a BPO company you have to be prepared for this constant exodus of people, and then getting the challenge of getting in fresh talent.
I think so, and I hope so. A few years back, about 6 or 7 years back, I'll narrate a story. I was invited by a local college to talk about career and career options for graduates. And when I started talking to them, and it came down to Q&A, everyone was basically talking about BPO is about burn and burn out, and use and throw kind of a company. There's no caring, there's no career guidance. Basically, there was such a huge negative perception about the business that I found it very difficult, because I thought it is unhealthy for the industry. And I do hope that by us consistently proving otherwise, we will be able to convince more people that it is not that an industry is bad. There are good industries. I mean, I think all industries have their pros and cons. It's the companies which make the difference.
Okay, so what are some of these employee-friendly initiatives that what makes them stick on there? Is it just salary? And I know you pay pretty well, but are you the best paymaster in the industry?
I don't think so, and I think that we try to stay in the top quartile as far as salaries are concerned. However, I think the
job satisfaction doesn't merely come with a thick wallet.
Absolutely not. No, I think that's definitely not the case. We have not seen it. Job satisfaction, I think, comes primarily from the quality of work they have, the quality of peers, how they interact, transparency that the company has in their structure when they appraise people, how they treat people. I think it's a combination of several things. Office politics, again, it is very difficult to completely eliminate it, because whenever there are people, whether it's office or family, there will be some of it. But I think we have reduced that substantially. I don't think that we have too much of it. I certainly hope not.
So that's quite an achievement, because for somebody like you who's come from the US and started this from scratch, not knowing anyone here, to an unknown land virtually, and to have actually built up this very conducive working environment, what is that one factor that has gone into this?
I think I would say 2 things. From my standpoint, the way I see it is that my experience prior to starting Ajuba was again in the services industry, in the financial services industry, which again had a very high component of personalization, and you were dealing with very senior, highly qualified employee base with similar challenges and attrition. So I think the core foundation of saying how you treat people and how you retain people, stems from that to some extent. And the other factor is, I think we were very fortunate. I personally feel very fortunate that the core team that we had from day one, in terms of some of our senior management, I think we all shared common values, and I think that sort of set the foundation right.
Alright, Dave, when you see such things, great places to work, I mean, you're number 9 in the country, but you've never gone to town with it. You've never created this buzz, because it's understated philosophy in keeping with your philosophy of not really blowing your own trumpet.
Absolutely, I think it's been our sort of mantra from day one, let our employers and our customers talk about it rather than anyone else, and we've been understated.
So no banners and no group photos or anything?
No, very little. I mean, occasionally we put up some small signs here and there, but nothing major. No.
Oh, okay, and the fact that you also had to be persuaded to do this interview.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Fine, Dave.
All well?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dave.
I just heard her calling you by your first name, shortened, abridged form of your first name, which is great. So, no sir and madam in Ajuba. No yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full.
That's right. Actually, it's been informal from day one. Everyone calls each other the first name, and I think it probably sets.
Is this your? You worked in other places before, ma'am?
Yeah, I worked before in Hyderabad, so we used to call like.
No, apart from Ajuba, you worked in other places.
No, I'm sorry, no. This is my first job.
How does it feel to be calling the president of the company by his first name, by a shortened first name?
It's good actually. We don't feel that the leadership or something like that. It's like it's a very good environment. We work here.
A team and team Ajuba and team players.
We feel more closer actually. We don't feel awkward or something like that.
Okay.
It's good.
Great. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
What do these awards mean to you? Winning an award has become a habit for Ajuba.
Well, I think one is we're very fortunate and lucky that we won some of these awards.
It's not that you aim for these awards; it just happened.
No, we've never tried and done anything, from the standpoint of winning an award. It's just, I think, it's happened, and it's an endorsement by our employees and the outside world about what we do and how we do it.
Okay, and I also saw maintaining health in the company and all that. Now that's an important issue, because in a BPO, given the erratic work timings, the long hours they put, the night shifts, so very few companies actually lay so much emphasis on the health of employees, which I guess you do. What are some of your initiatives?
So we have an initiative called Swasth, where the focus is entirely on overall wellness. We have 2 doctors who are consistently making sure that there's awareness of health. One is treatment, and the second is on the preventive side.
No chips and pastries and cookies in the canteen.
We've tried to somewhat stay away from those. Occasionally you do have that.
Birthdays and all that. Otherwise, salads,
we actually had one birthday in our office where instead of a cake they had a fruit that was cut.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
But yes, I mean, we try to bring in more grains, juices, salads, just to build up some awareness. Although I need to implement some of that in my personal life.
No, I think you're fine. You play golf, don't you?
Yes, I do, but I end up compensating for that with
you make up with a vengeance.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Well, time now to slide into a short break, but when we return on Off the Record, we'll ask Devendra Saharia about his rise to the top, his meteoric rise as an entrepreneur, quitting that plum assignment. In fact, he used to travel on private jets, why he did that and how he managed to build this empire that is Ajuba.